Welcome, everybody. We're back here in the Get Real studio for a real special treat for everyone. Just by way of introduction, my name is Ed Haravan, and I'm the co-founder of Get Real. Get Real is a Metaverse consultant agency that works with businesses and organizations, and what you'll see a little bit later today, artists, to help bring some of the new technology that we're seeing in the Metaverse and connect it with, help them use it to connect with their key constituencies and fans and media alike. So we're here actually in the Get Real studio, which was a fun project that our design team created for us to gather in. And we use it often to meet with clients. We use it to host internal meetings. And today we're going to use it for a little bit of a concert and performance with our special guests. So we were lucky to get connected with Emily, Faye, and Jay Bstract a few weeks ago, and just really love what they're doing here with their art in the early days of the Metaverse. For their own kind of promotion and their own business interests. And we kind of had an idea to get them into the studio here and talk a little bit about their experience and get their take on what the Metaverse is doing for them and their work, and have a little fun while we're at it today. And so without further ado, I want to introduce my guests, Emily, Faye, and Jay Bstract, to you. And maybe we could start, I'll start with you, Emily, but just to you both. How did you guys get started in your music and in your art forms? And give us a little bit of background on what brought you here today.
Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Emily Faye. It's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Well, basically the only thing I kind of really loved at school and throughout, my childhood was to sing. So I ended up studying music at university. I studied songwriting, and that's literally part of the reason I'm here today. Part of the other reason I'm here in the Metaverse today is this guy right here, Bstract. Yeah, he kind of said to me, Emily, if this is the future of the music industry, then you need to be paving it. And I was like, yeah, that's the best attitude to have, So music's the biggest passion, of mine, sure.
Awesome. Jay, what about your background?
So I've worked as a professional musician for around about 10 years now, and I studied bass in London, did a music degree, and that's where I met Emily. That's around 9 years ago. Well, probably met her before that, but we've been together for around 9 years. So that's a background there. And yeah, I've been lucky to, play festivals and tours all across the UK and Europe. And I kind of discovered Web3. What happened was when the pandemic happened, lockdown happened, for both of us and many, many creatives and everyone around the world, all of our music careers were kind of put on pause for a while. So that gave us me a little bit of time to breathe, and I really got focused on my artwork, which I've done for many years. And in early 2021, I discovered the kind of NFTs and Web3, and I'd already been creating a collection of about 150 pieces of artwork before that, and it was perfect timing. I was listening to a podcast in Emily's garden, and I went and I minted 100 pieces there and then, and made loads of mistakes, and jumped into the Web3 world, and over that summer just kind of really learned about it. And then a couple of months after first minting my pieces, they started to sell quite well. And then in October 2021, I got really lucky where Mark Cuban actually found my artwork and shared it to his 9 million followers, and all my pieces just kind of sold within that hour. So that's really the start of my Web3 journey, and since then it's been a really wild 2 years, really, some incredible stuff. So yeah, that's kind of my little background in the Web3 and music industry.
That's awesome. You guys have certainly shown yourselves to be pioneers and willingness to embrace new technology, new ways of presenting your art. One of the most recent examples of that has been the 100 Song Project in Spatial. Can you, Emily, I'll start with you. Can you tell me a little bit more about that thing that project that you recently worked on and the success that it really became?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with everything, this project started with a song. So I wrote a song for my little goddaughter who was turning 1 last year, and I basically decided that I would write a song for every age, so the same song but different lyrics. So I'd rewrite it every year. Her second birthday is literally just around the corner, so I need to get rewriting it for everything she can do, now at the age of 2, almost 2. So yeah, because they change so quickly, I wanted to kind of create a diary for her to look back on when she's 18 of how she's developed over the years, and I kind of also wanted to do it for her mum as well. And this kind of was the beginning of the project. So age 1 is the song I wrote for Billy, and I said to Jay, I just had this idea to write, rewrite the lyrics for every year as she grows, explaining what she can do and the kind of person she's becoming. And he said that would be a great idea for an NFT project. So instead of writing every year, obviously, about her, what we've done is we've interviewed so many women within the space and outside of the space. And we have basically asked them to tell us an age that was significant to them and something that happened at that age. And they basically sent us a paragraph or just a few sentences of, what it was that they remember about that age that was significant to them in their life. And I've changed it into song lyrics. So yeah, each year represents a life of a woman, each one with a different story, because we wanted to include as many voices and as, keep it as diverse and inclusive as possible. And yeah, it's really cool. It covers as many different kind of topics we could come up with, and hopefully does that. And the art that Bstract has created to go with it just completed the package. You've got the music and the art, and it's just beautiful. Like when it came together, it was such a magical moment, and it made me realize, oh my goodness, because the music, they each stand on their own, but together they're like the dream package. So yeah, it's been a long time in the making.
It's really a remarkable presentation, and it's a really remarkable experience. I encourage everyone to go visit it. We'll make a note here in the video link. We'll drop a link in for people to go visit it going after when this video gets published. But I really encourage all of the audience to go out and experience it, because it's quite an assembly of multimedia and art and song, and really creative. And we're super thrilled to see people leveraging the tool and the technology so succinctly and getting that message across. So I think we're going to take a pause here, but we've got a treat. We've got Emily's going to play a few songs for us here. So through the magic of the metaverse, we're going to share that through some video here. But Emily, I was hoping that, what are we going to hear today?
Yeah, so I'm going to play you a brand new song, which is all about self-love and how sometimes it's hard for us to love ourselves. And then I'm going to play you a song that I wrote about Bstract's PlayStation.
Awesome. Well, take it away when you're ready.
So this song's called Me First. And I wrote this for a feature of my on my Instagram called 5 Minute Song Friday, where my audience picks a topic and I write the song in 5 minutes, a verse and chorus in 5 minutes. I do it every Friday, and it really does test my brain. Anyway, this one was love, and I decided to kind of think of all the things that I knew about love, but the type of love that I find hardest is the love for myself sometimes. And there's a part in it where you can sing along at home and give yourself a great big hug. I'll tell you when. But yeah, just, give yourself some self-love. Yeah, I hope you like it. I know love, that feeling, heart beating, taking over. I know love for my mother, father and brother. I know love that's unspoken, it's there in my best friends. I know love in the darkest moments, it helps you change the lens. I believe at the end of the day love wins, and it can conquer even the strongest things. And I know all of these people love me, so why do I find it so hard? I try to see the best in everyone, but when it comes to me, I can't. Maybe it's something I've learned, but I'm doing the work, even in my best and in my worst. I'm gonna love me first. I know love re-seeing the world through little eyes. I know love a stomach of butterflies. I know love that's silent, but then no matter what, I know love the pain of missing someone. I believe at the end of the day love wins, and it can conquer even the strongest things. And I know all of these people love me, so why do I find it so hard? I try to see the best in everyone, but when it comes to me, I can't. Maybe it's something I've learned, but I'm doing the work, even at my best and at my worst. I'm gonna love me first. This is where you can sing along at home if you want to. You're gonna sing this? Unconditionally, 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 I'm gonna love me first. Unconditionally, 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 I'm gonna love me first. Unconditionally, 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 I'm gonna love me first. Thank you. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you were singing along. Thank you. They're busting some dance moves. I love it. Okay, so this next song is about Bstract's love for his PlayStation. Again, it was another 5 Minute Song Friday, the feature from my Instagram. And it was actually the easiest song I've ever written. And I pretend the PlayStation is another woman. I hope you like it. She is the apple of his eye. Don't know how I can compare. Oh yeah, her perfect figure, performance of a winner. There's just no competition there. She's sleek and she's slick, I couldn't be more opposite. All emotion and complicated feelings. She's fast and she's strong, and she can go all night long. All you have to do is turn her on. And if you want attention, a vacation, don't let your boyfriend get a PlayStation 5. Said he paused the game for me. Is that a new form of chivalry? She's the last thing he kisses goodnight. It's PlayStation 5. She's easy to handle, she's easy to hold, and guess what? She does exactly what she's told. The next generation, limited edition, with no limitations to my frustration. So if you want attention, a vacation, don't let your boyfriend get a PlayStation 5. Said he paused the game for me. Is that a new form of chivalry? She's the last thing he kisses goodnight. It's PlayStation streamlined and sexy. Plays hard to get, but she's worth every penny. Thank God he met me before, in the days of the PlayStation 4. Attention, vacation. Don't let your boyfriend get a PlayStation 5. Said he plays a game for me. Is that a new form of chivalry? She's the last thing he kisses goodnight. She's the bane of my life. Maybe she could be his wife. It's PlayStation 5. Thank you.
Woo! Yeah. Give you one of that too. Emily, that was awesome. And I truly think you, as I think around it, you've written a song for so many people out there with the last one. I'm sure it's not just Jay that's the theme song for many out there. So really brilliant stuff. Thank you very much for sharing it today. So I want to get both of you here, just to get your thoughts here. So we were just able to kind of, you've done the 100 song project that you've identified in combination with Jay's NFT art and all the things that he's done. But both of you have kind of put yourself out there in this kind of forefront of new technology. And while not perfect, it certainly is kind of signaling a lot of things towards the future of ways that artists might interact with their fans or get notoriety or publicity around their work. And I'm just curious to get both of your takes really on, whether it be Web3 or Metaverse, but how do you see it potentially as a way for artists, as a tool for artists to leverage going forward? If you were advising other artists out there who are similarly technologically savvy or technologically inclined, how do you view the medium and how it can be of use to you both?
I think it's so exciting, really exciting. Like so many things. For example, just 2 weeks ago, we did, a live Metaverse concert here in our spatial venue for Time, which was so great. We had loads of people from around the world being able to tune in and listen to Emily play, something that not everyone's done. And whilst, that's nothing new in terms of, online shows, it is different when it's kind of in a 3D environment, and especially with virtuality, headsets, which are going to be more and more commonplace over the next few years. It is different, and it's a great way to connect with people, actually really connect with your community. I think that's one way the music industry is probably going to go. It's going to be less, putting your music out to the masses and just hoping for the best. It's going to be developing communities, a real community behind your work, collaborating with other musicians and other artists and partnering with them and sharing your network of fans and creatives. And I think spatial and other programs like that and is going to be a perfect way to actually interact with these communities and have real sit-down conversations. And I think there's so many exciting things that's going to happen in the next few years. And I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's a brand new way, an innovative way of connecting with a fan base all over the world, so you're not just limited to the country that you're in. People can tune in from all around the world. So not only does it allow you to expand your fan base and have more people connect with your music, but it also allows you to connect with them online. Obviously, I know you can do this on Zoom and things, but this is just completely really a cool submersive way to connect with people. For me, I think the future of Web3 means that artists are going to have a lot more control over their music, what they release, what they want to release, what they want to write, what they want to say to the world, and also to make a living from it. I think that's the future, because I know so many struggling musicians, and I obviously with streaming, and things like that, it has been very, very difficult to make a living from writing songs and doing what you love. So I think that Web3 will provide this huge opportunity for people to make a living from doing what they love. Both art and music are like the first things to go on the programs, in schools here in the UK. And I just think, there needs to be a place for it, and maybe that's Web3. And I love the idea that we can have full creative control over exactly what we want to do. We're not being dictated to by a record label or, any kind of people that can kind of control you and your sound and where you want to go. You have full control over that, which I also really love. So yeah, I think it's going to be a really awesome way. It's an awesome way to connect with people, to expand your fan base, and also to get paid what you deserve for your art, whether that's, music or art itself. Yeah.
So some great insight there around some of the potential ways that artists and creative types can showcase and kind of patch into their fans and really make a living going forward. And yet we're in such early days of all this technology. So I think the last question I want to ask here as we get to the end of the segment is, what are some things, what's one or two things about the technology that's not available today, but rates to be available in the next 6 months or 12 months? What are you most excited about the ability to do, to just as an example to the audience of how fast the technology is evolving and what that might mean? So just curious to know what you're excited about coming here that's maybe just right on the horizon.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Bstract, I'm going first. That's okay. Two things I'm excited about. Number one is I'm excited about the technology that's going to come to allow me to physically stand as my avatar and play songs and have a guitar in my hand, that kind of thing. I'm really excited for that to happen within spatial, and also for the audio quality to get even better. And I'm also excited to see what the latest is going to be with AI, because I think that's just come on in like the last 6 months or so. And I think it's going to be, I think it's just going to develop and develop and develop even further. And I'm really interested to see where it goes. How about you, Jay?
So many things. I could talk about this for an hour. One thing I would love to be exist into the world, which I don't know how possible it's going to be, but I'm praying one day is zero latency music capability, in terms of when you play your music into your interface, there's always, by the time it gets to someone else's ears, even if it's milliseconds or a few milliseconds, it's always slightly out of delay. But I would love there to be absolutely zero latency, so that you could basically call with your bandmates from across the world and have a jam or have a band practice. That would be my dream. Like you could do that with anyone in the world. That would be amazing. In terms of the space, I'm blown away by the technology that comes out every day. I mean, even yesterday, I created this video which I showed Emily, and she was blown away, where we printed out art pieces from the 100 Years of Women project and made prints of it, so that it's on our walls. It's in the room here with me now. And we used an app called Artivive, and we just picked up our phones and then held it to the wall, to the piece, and the pieces just came alive and animated, and the songs came on our phones. So it was augmented reality, and it was very flawless. It came out very quickly, and it works very, very well. And I'm looking forward to the day where we have these, potentially glasses or, contact lenses, where you could just be in a gallery walking around and suddenly the paintings are completely come alive, in front of you. And I think that's really not in the too distant future.
Well, that's great. I want to thank you both for your insights here at the end, especially the stuff that's forward-looking. Certainly the rapid pace of change and things like generative AI and some of the things that are being released now with video, as you mentioned, Jay, Emily, ways to democratize that green screen avatar capture that you're talking about, and be able to play lifelike, whether in this platform or other platforms, certainly is on the horizon, as we see, and as that technology becomes more accessible to the masses, so to speak. I think it's going to be some incredible opportunities for people like yourself. So we're going to stay and follow your careers going forward. And I really would like to thank you both for coming into the Get Real studio today. Tell us a little bit about your work and treating us to some of your work, and certainly we'll put in all the notes of how to get in touch with you, where we can find everything, the great things that you're doing in the metaverse. So thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you back soon.
Thank you so much for having us.